Well, welcome back, Kittitas Valley Sports Talk fans. Episode 21 of your Kittitas Valley Sports Talk. I am Eric Sorensen here with Luke Olson, and we're joined. John Gudat's back in the house.
I have been warmly welcomed back. You know, I've been here in spirit and over the phone waves, but it is wonderful to be back. You didn't change the locks on the studio.
I kept them open just for you. Episode 21. We didn't discuss that yet, fellas.
We didn't discuss. Shoot, I don't have a jersey. I wanted to say Doug Flutie, but that's 22, so maybe that's next week.
There's looking around and nobody in our office right here.
There's nobody in our office here on all your photos that has a 21.
Yeah, no.
We'll come back.
But while we're looking at that, we got to say thank you to Fitterer's Furniture,
Fitterer's
proud
Furniture.
sponsor since the beginning.
Yep, quality furniture since 1896. They're
That's
the
right.
first ones that believe in us.
That's right.
And they're still with us, and that's so awesome. Go down there and check them out. I got 20% off. It's a funny word. I don't know the brand of it. Fjord and Norway line.
Okay.
It's 20% off still. So go in there. Tell them you heard 20% off from Kittitas Valley Sports Talk on that sale that's going on right now.
There you go.
Let them know that you're listening and appreciate what they've done for us and spreading news in this valley. The Google is searching right now. But
The Google.
the one thing I wanted to talk about, because I am so pumped, and if you're watching on the YouTube, I got my bat here. Actually, that's a Harold Reynolds Seattle Mariners bat.
Harold Reynolds.
That's a game used one. Today's Wednesday, the 29th. But tomorrow, Central Washington Wildcat Baseball hits the bus to Stanislaus to play opening series of baseball. Baseball's finally back. Softball's down in Vegas for the weekend, and I'm sure they're flying because they would fly. In baseball, we drive buses. So, but I'm just excited. The spring sports are right around the corner for us.
You know, and it feels like a March here because everything is thawed out. So it is baseball weather. Mm-hmm. It's time to Stanislaus. So I'm trying to think of where Stanislaus is.
Turlock,
which is
beautiful.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. We played there my senior year, and it was awesome. It's a long bus ride. I'll tell you what. You leave at dark 30, and you drive till you get there, and you have to stop halfway to change drivers because it's a long drive for those people. But no, man. Actually, a little side note from the time that we played there. I got to pinch hit. I hit a ball. It was right when they went to these new bats, and the new bats suck. If you don't know, they're not as popping them. I hit a ball to the warning track, left center, opposite field for me, and the left fielder made it an amazing running play. Turns out all the scouts behind us were here to watch that guy. So I never found out if he made it past then. But okay, we got Roger Clemens, Deion Sanders, Tim Duncan.
Ooh, those are some great three names
LaDainian
right there.
Tomlinson. I mean, guys.
Holy moly.
Roberto Clemente. We'll go with him because
That's where we're going to do
baseball.
Yeah.
But no, man, we got episode 21. We're in the 20s now, and it's exciting.
How many has John missed? That's what I want to know.
Oh, that
Two.
hurts.
Two.
So he's at 19.
He's at 19.
We're at 21.
That hurts.
Oh, Luke, you missed
Actually,
one.
That's right.
You're 20,
So
but
it's
That's
20.
right. Yeah, you were golfing.
Yeah.
that's right.
I'll
You
take
know-
that 20 right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, baby.
there you go.
Baby.
Pepsi Pack Sorensen.
Number 20, 3-year guy. There we go. But I'm cashing him in now because I'm sure in the springtime you guys are going to have to run everything. And well, I'm either farming,
We're going to run the show.
coaching.
You got baseball and farming.
That's right. Just the fault. The softball team of Central's down playing in Vegas, Oklahoma Christian, San Francisco State tomorrow, and then Bernardino and Regis in the tournament.
That's a huge tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous. I saw a picture on Facebook. It was like all desert and just the greenest grass you ever saw in the middle. And at that time, it was snow before it all melted, and we got that rainstorm. So that was kind of chaotic. But
I'm looking forward to baseball. I'm looking forward to softball. Correct me if I'm wrong. Softball coach Allison Mitchell, I believe, is her name. So she gets started here at Central. Let's hope she starts off well.
Probably go get a series win. And before we go on to our other scoreboard stuff, quick pick. I'm going Chiefs. Who you got in the Super Bowl?
Chiefs.
You're going to say Chiefs because you think they'll win, or you just don't like the 49ers?
Yeah.
Got nothing but love. Got nothing but love for Ryan Kuhn, but
Yeah.
I just hope both teams have a good time.
I just want everybody to get along.
I have a buddy.
Have a good time.
I have a buddy of mine who's diehard NFL, diehard football, diehard Seahawks, and he's making it a point to not watch the game.
Yeah.
You know what? I'd like to see the Chiefs. I got no issue with the 49ers, though, but I'd like to see the Chiefs since they haven't won it since, was it 1971, I believe it is. That's a few years before us three guys, we'll just say.
Right.
Yeah, we're spring chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What?
I'm going to say the Chiefs.
What were you gonna say, Luke?
Oh, nothing.
Okay, it was gonna be controversial.
Yeah.
No, but I'm not. I don't want to hear 49er fans for a full year.
No, not at all.
Can I make a bold prediction?
Please.
Pending some great pickups and roster moves, I think next year at this time we'll be watching the Seahawks. I think so.
Okay.
Last year, the year before when they won the Super Bowl last year, they had the year before they won. It was kind of the same scenario as this, a few missing pieces, and
I believe we have the most money for free agency stuff, right? Or maybe not the most, but we have millions and millions to spend.
Right.
Which, yeah, that's great.
I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
And then next year when we win it, we'll bring up the audio from today on January 29th, 2020, and I predicted a Super Bowl. So there you go. But, it's another big week ahead of us. I don't think the season's gone as we'd wanted to so far, but whether it has or not, it's rivalry week.
It is.
Western's coming to town Saturday, and, I can't say the words I want to say about them because it's not appropriate. But I should have wore my Western You Suck shirt today.
You should.
But they're pretty darn good.
You have that shirt?
I'll have two of them.
You need to go grab it and then show.
I will. I'll bring it. Maybe I'll bring it to the end.
Yeah.
Well, at the very end, I'll go
throw it around like a terrible
That's
towel
right.
or
We'll hang it
whatever.
right here. Put it on the chair. What do you guys think?
A scouting report for you, Luke. How do we overcome the Vikings' height?
Jeez. It's a great question. Yeah. Probably got to go fast paced.
Yeah.
I imagine. I mean, Central's got all those guards. Bolton and Boykin and Xavier Smith. They always have a lot of guards out there.
Yeah.
But
I just want to win.
yeah, they've been struggling.
So we're not coaches, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the things that we can't influence, but it's easier for me to talk about. I'm not a very good X's and O guys. I don't do the triangle and two, box and one. I don't understand that kind of defense, right? Thankfully, Coach Renta does.
Mm-hmm.
But if this is not a sellout,
Right.
I'm going to be very disappointed.
If the
It
bleachers
needs
aren't
to be a
open on top,
sellout.
Yeah. If you want, get there early. The girls they play Fairbanks. No, I'm sorry, they play Billings at 5. They're giving away free T-shirts.
Right.
And you got to be there early for that game. But you know what? Whether the season's gone, how it's gone, whether you're believing in who's the coach or whatnot, it's still Central Western. Get there, create the atmosphere.
Be loud.
It would be loud because it was a pathetic atmosphere at Western. I'm going to go out there and say it was horrible. When we watched it on TV that night, granted they were still on break, but repeat it. What's the proper when someone that's in the stands says Western Ute? What's the proper thing to say after that?
The proper thing to say is the improper word of suck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or F
Or-
you Western.
Yeah, or we
it's-
can pepper it with some.
Student section. Hopefully, there's some students listening. Stand up, get up there and yell. Let them know
Yeah.
your presence is known.
Put
man.
the cell phones in your pocket.
Yes.
Be loud. Do not sit down. And for the student section, which is exactly directly across the court from your season tickets in the elite sections, I
Absolutely.
would say.
Yep.
All
nose
they
is
need
stick
to
higher
do
where
is
we're
look
at.
for your lead, right?
Are you wearing Western? Are you going to wear this shirt?
No, probably not. I don't think it fits me anymore. That's a problem. I'll shoot for
It's
next
have
year.
a hard time getting around the biceps, right?
Right.
Yeah,
I'm so
exactly.
yeah. I felt bad for the people sitting around me the year before because I did yell some things. And
Say the one thing the lady
I
did
yelled
in front of you.
It got quiet, and I yelled, "Western, you suck!" And actually, it was a parent sitting to the right of me. He goes, "Actually, they don't." And the lady in front of me turned her hearing aid off on
That's
that ear.
right.
I was like,
That's what I
sorry.
wanted to
I
hear.
apologize. My wife will be with me, and she brings me back in when we start getting kind of wild.
Yeah.
She got to experience a Western game, and that's actually the Western game on the commercial on TV where we hit a shot at the end to win it.
Were you?
But-
You were there,
Oh yeah, I don't think I've missed one here in a very long time.
John? Are you going?
I will be in Dallas,
that's
which we
right.
are going to talk about here
right.
a little bit later with our guest of the week. But so I will
You'll be streaming it,
I will be streaming it.
or just look for my tweets.
Damn
What's
right.
that?
Or you can look for my tweets.
I
Either or.
follow your tweets religiously, Luke,
Yeah.
and yeah, so I will be streaming it from the Dallas, Texas.
So just note to fans and student athletes, there's a time and a place when you're quiet and you're sitting down and you're being respectful.
That
Church,
is-
class. When someone's at a public event, public speaking event,
right.
Central Western is not that time. Get the most dirtiest shirt you can think of, sayings on the front.
Yep.
Contact, there's 2 different shirt companies in town.
Yep.
Be loud, obnoxious, and let Western know what you think. Because I guarantee when we've been there before at Central Western, it's about all you hillbillies and whatnot. So
Yep.
you can
Yep.
only imagine the comments that you're able to come up with for this one. It's a time that you can chant whatever you want, and usually people turn the blind eye for this game because, you know what, Western, we don't like you.
We do not.
Why? I don't understand.
It's UW, WSU, it's Duke, North Carolina. It's the Washington GNAC 2 or D2 level of a rivalry.
What's the difference between a Central student and a Western student?
Well, that's the thing about it is it's the persona because the Central student is the Western student. And I've known a few Eastern Washington people at Western right now. So I think it's just the persona of Western Washington and then Eastern Washington.
You know what, though?
Yeah.
The city versus the rodeo. or
That's
the-
our
the
thing.
rodeo.
If we were forward thinking, pardon me for talking over you, but if we were forward thinking, we would take that question. You can make a joke out of that. What's the difference between a Central and Western student?
Yes.
I thought you were actually setting us up for a joke.
No,
I'm mildly
Nothing
disappointed.
funny came out,
We
yeah.
could make a meme out of that, right?
Yeah.
Or that's a would you rather
That is exactly
kind of
would you
question.
rather.
So
My sister goes Western.
No, sorry. Well,
Yeah.
Oh,
apologize
geez.
to your
Sorry.
sister. I'm sure
It's,
she's fine.
sorry, Sister Olson. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why'd she choose Western?
Yeah, Central's nice.
I don't. The environment. I don't know. She likes it up there. She came to Central and we liked it though.
I mean, who doesn't? I
But she
mean,
didn't want to.
Who doesn't? Luke's sister, apparently.
that's
Yeah,
right. I
I
guess that's
know.
right. I guess, there's a couple other people I know there that
Does she understand the Central Western rivalry from a Western student, or does she just not get into that?
I don't think she gets into it. She does play on the club tennis team, so she did.
okay.
Okay.
But there was no. I watched the match and everyone seemed to enjoy. There was no fighting or. No,
I'm not one to
sense of
promote
rivalry.
fighting or violence, but I can tell you there have been times, and you can back me up, with me as a student, and then when I was in your position as a sports editor 1 or 2 years ago, we'll just say, more like 1 or 2 decades ago, and then your time as a student, there's been times where, thankfully,
Yeah.
we've had police and deputies there
Oh,
to
man.
police things, literally.
Gosh, what was the year when the stands before the renovation in Nicholson? I watched this game on TV when I was a young kid, and when it would go up in the end. I think that's the thing is that half the football team usually sits at the very
Yep.
end.
Yes, sir.
And the ball that came flying back out of the stands, and I think it's also 2 programs that are traditionally strong in basketball.
I actually remember watching what you're talking about.
Yeah, they hit the guy in
Yes.
the head, and I think the cop had to get the guy out of there.
That was near pandemonium had the police not been there. I
Yeah.
can vividly remember that. I want to say that was 01, 02.
Yeah.
So I was the sports editor at the
I was
time.
6. Yeah.
And what's that?
I was 6 years old. just
Thanks,
so you
Luke.
know.
I was
Really
middle
brings
school.
it down. Whenever you say that, I'm always like looking for my cane or walker or something like that. You make me sound so old. Thanks, Luke.
What happened in 2001? Mariners made it to the
Mariners
playoffs.
made it. That was good years. So.
Damn, that's a lost time.
Yeah.
And they won 116 games, best team in baseball. Didn't even make the World Series.
Stop.
Sorry, I'm not going to bring us down.
Stop.
I'm not going to bring us down.
Yeah.
But 2001, that's
Just
jeez,
get-
2020.
Get to the game. Get to the game.
Right.
Be loud. Support your team. Do it respectfully.
Right.
Push the envelope a little bit.
Yes.
Make signs. They need
Absolutely.
to make signs.
Make signs.
What's the difference between a Central and Western student?
Yeah.
That could be one.
Enter.
Someone's got to have something clever.
Get it done, students. Get out
Yeah.
there. Let them know that
Yep.
we don't appreciate them being in our town for basketball.
That's right.
Just throwing us out there. You couldn't even keep a football program. Okay, I'm done.
That's right.
But get out early and watch the girls. They play Billings also beforehand.
What else are we going to talk about?
Well-
Can we talk about a couple of things before we go into high school sports? I want to tip my hat to our new Ellensburg Rodeo Royal
Right.
Court. The coronation last weekend was incredibly fun. Our queen, Cora Clift, and our princesses are Abby Roberts and Clara Van Orman. So they're going to do a great job representing the rodeo, and that's a really fun event to be a part of. I'm the MC there, and I don't say that as a self-promotion thing. I just want people to know it was really, really fun,
Yeah.
and I really like. I'm noticing the rodeo board has a great direction with the Royal Court, and you know what? There was 5 ladies in the last couple of years who have vied for the crown, shall you say? And it wouldn't surprise me to see 8 or 9, maybe 10 ladies going for it next year. So,
Well, and, yeah, I know Queen Cora. She's we've known that family for quite a while. And
Yep.
she's a cowgirl. That's
She
for
is.
sure. I mean,
Yeah.
hell, she was showing animals at the Denver Stock Show the weekend before,
that's right.
but
All 5 ladies did a great job, and yeah,
I heard they announced the concert there.
yeah. So, and did you see how?
No.
You know, it was a somewhat of a surprise, but a great artist, David Murphy, I believe is his name.
David Lee Murphy. Yeah.
That's right, and which I believe will get. To me, he's a good mix of like old school and still notable enough to attract, I guess you could say, a couple of different generations of fans. So,
There's a chance the opening act might be introduced here. Maybe.
maybe Carrie Clift, if you're listening, and maybe your better half and your daughter is, we're going to put you on the spot. Maybe.
Yes. We'll have to get everybody on here and find that out.
But congratulations to
Yeah.
the Royal Court, and I just can't wait for rodeo to start. You know.
I'm super excited.
That's right.
Well, let's hop into some high school talk here. We just wrapped up the college, but let's start with Kittitas because we were talking about that a little bit ago.
Fresh on our mind.
Goldendale. They played them on Saturday, correct?
Yeah, good games for both. Good games for both teams. The girls, I thought, showed some toughness, some resilience, whatever buzzword you want to use. And then the boys, I don't want to say they, dominated, but it was a comfortable victory.
Right.
So, and then of course, kind of tripped up with Reardon and then White Swan on Tuesday, and but it's okay.
Bounce back Wava on tomorrow, Thursday.
That's right, tomorrow. So we're recording this on a
Wednesday the 29th.
Wednesday the 29th. We play on Thursday at home as well. So
And I'm excited to be there and watch
and
this.
Walla Walla, that's the number 2 team in the
Right. EWAC.
in the EWAC. Yeah,
The
Man.
White Swan.
That White Swan. And, that's a game that I hope to see in districts as a Kittitas White Swan matchup.
Yeah.
I don't know where the districts are at for them, but I feel like third time's a charm.
That's gonna be
The
in Granger.
Cougars, don't get too ahead of yourself.
I agree. So we needed that one.
Yeah,
Best way to get over a loss is the next game.
absolutely. Win the district title and it'll be just fine.
That's right.
But yeah, get to Thursday, and our guest later today is the cheerleading coach at
That's
the
right.
Nationals. And it sounds like there might be a sneak peek of what might be competition drill at halftime. So
I believe so.
Maybe get out there and watch that too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Ellensburg, oh my God, big upset on, I believe, Saturday night, beating Freda.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, that's a pretty big win. I didn't cover the game. Our intern's been helping me out, so hey, you got to watch a pretty good game. And it sounds like it's a pretty big win. And then the girls keep rolling. Obviously, yeah.
16-0, correct?
Yep, they ain't losing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
At least
So they
till-
keep on. Are they getting any closer on the RPI rankings to Linden? I guess it doesn't really matter.
Linden's undefeated too, so I don't think
Yeah.
it's going to change unless. But
Man, oh man, though, that team is just dominant.
I wrote a story. And I think about it when they lost last year in districts or regionals, or no, they lost in
I
district
thought they were-
championship, and then they
And then they had to go through the
regional.
yeah.
And I kind of wrote the story wasn't about the game. It was more like this is just the beginning for them. And
I'm not telling you what you want to hear. I actually remember that story, and I remember thinking that was spot on because it would have been great to see them, get in as a lower seed to state or something like that, which would have been great. But I agree with you. It's almost like that loss might have, maybe that's the fuel to the fire, because I think we were getting a glimpse as to what's going to happen over the next couple of years.
yeah, I mean they got three starters or sophomores. They got a guard that's a freshman that's going to replace Brindley when
Yeah.
she's gone. Yeah, they got some post players, Cammie Jr.
Yeah.
So it looks pretty good, and they have a 6'4" freshman too.
Wow.
Yeah, and she plays usually in the fourth quarter, and she's not bad. Yeah, she can shoot, and so that'll be nice. And
So we got some staying power.
yeah, Ellensburg does. Yeah,
That's exciting. Who do they play this week? Where are they at? You know?
they believe they host Quincy. They're at home Friday.
Right.
I think it's against Quincy.
We'll get out there and watch them play. I think it's
Watch some Bulldogs.
When this group of girls are gone, don't regret not getting out and watching them play. Get there, watch it. When teams roll through these towns like this, you got to get out and see them and support them because it's awesome. It's good show in our community.
That's actually a good point that you say. I mean, just be there, support your team, and yeah, it's one of those things where you're going to talk about it or be able to share that with your friends and family about the 2020 season, 2021, whatever it is.
Absolutely. The other good news, there's a sweep. Cleveland Roslyn Warriors, boys and girls, beat Goldendale. Goldendale might want to stay in the different league.
Yeah.
They just got beat by two next year's EWAC teams. So,
Yeah.
But great. No, I guess, what do you got on them?
The Cleveland, the boys are kind of struggling this year, but that was a pretty good win. And
Looks like
and then the Grace Terrell had a pretty good game against Goldendale and Hallie Hink as well. I think they scored like most of their points.
let's see, Jake Kelly had a double-double and Sterling 32 points along with 12 rebounds.
Yeah, that was a big game for him. And he was the kid that Eric Terrell talked about
Right.
last week, and he tore both his ACLs his freshman year.
Ugh.
Or tore his, yeah, he really tore them bad, and kind of it's taken him a while, but yeah.
Holy cow. The girls, not to keep going back and forth, but the girls, Grace Terrell and Hallie Hink, like you said, two of them combining for 44 of the team's points.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But we should probably talk about where Cleveland's going to be next year.
Yeah, you mentioned it. You kind of teased it there. Let's talk about that.
You know, we're good at teasing on this for future episodes. Came across, and I, before you guys got here, I went to dailyrecord.com and saw Luke's article. Well written. Good job. You're getting a compliment from a communication guy that gives speeches on how well written it is, but good job, Luke. Talked us through, there's big changes happening. I know I'm excited as the baseball. Our league travel has gotten a lot shorter for that aspect of things, but talk us what just happened.
Yeah, so WIAA approved. It was something that was approved last year, but it's going to officially take effect for the 2020-21 school year. They basically reclassified enrollment numbers and who gets placed, put in certain classifications based on enrollment numbers, and then they also included free and reduced lunch. So if you're above the 47%, I don't know the exact math, but the higher percentage up, the more your enrollment numbers drop. So like Highland, for example, is going to be in the UAC, and they had like 83% free and reduced,
right.
And their enrollment was like 260, and because of that, they're dropping down to I think 161, so which puts them in the 2B range. But if you're like 50%, 3% above the state, your enrollment drops just not much.
Slightly.
Not probably, unless you're on the borderline, it could maybe drop you down the classification based on your enrollment numbers. But it doesn't. It's usually the schools like with those really high percentages are getting dropped. And the reason they do that is because it's for like a competitive balance. The schools that don't give that many free and reduced lunches, it's more than not that those kids have more access to traveling clubs, private coaching.
They're playing year-round.
Yeah, compared to a school that doesn't, that's not as wealthy, and so with that, Cleon, they didn't have a problem with free and reduced, but they are, with the new enrollment numbers, they are dropping down to the 2B, so they'll be with Kittitas, which would be kind of neat. And then Highland and Riverview and I believe Goldendale are all dropping down to the
Granger too, isn't it?
Granger as well, yeah.
So I would say so we go to Granger. Kittitas basketball goes to Granger for league tournaments.
Right.
That's not too bad of a drive. It's just I-82, so it's easy. going to Highland, I actually like that drive. Just hit some of you and you just keep on going. I think the Granger drive is an easy drive, but the
And that's going
Highland,
to be our farthest
Highland is
one.
Highland is prettier, I guess you could say.
Right.
So I think I like it, and then of course Cle Elum, so we'll have a nice county rivalry. We always play Cle Elum in on-league stuff, but to get them on your schedule twice a year now, I think that's really cool.
I want to come back to Cle Elum in just a second, but did we decide if Goldendale's coming or not?
I'm not sure. They're appealing, but because they're right on the cusp of they could be in 1A, and I don't know. I think what I've kind of been told, and now I think about it, is they want to stay because of, it's also another thing is the CWAC. Ellensburg's league is losing Toppenish, Quincy, and who's at Wapato, and I think that would be, if Goldendale stays in 1A, that's going to be better, easier travel.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I know they're already far, but so yeah, I'm not sure what Goldendale's status is.
We'll find out.
Yeah,
The thing I think would be cool, because just knowing sports from both schools, it's going to be a pretty competitive matchup. That maybe we are the initiators to get the conversation started of making this. Kittitas, we've always had competitive teams we played against, and we've always been a top team in our leagues.
right.
And there's always a couple of us that are battling out for first place, because you can usually pick the doubleheader or the games of the year where it's going to kind of matter. But the Cle Elum Kittitas is a legitimate rivalry. And it's a rivalry game. It's Western, Central, maybe not as hated as that, but I think it helps because, we're shopping in the same stores. We're going to the same places.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoy going to the establishments up there to have dinner and beverages up in Cle Elum. So, but having a name for it, jokingly, Kittitas used to call it the Kid or the Timothy Cup,
Right.
But I feel like there needs to be a name for this and make it a rivalry. If there's a trophy, every school in the Big Ten basically plays for a trophy in every league game they have.
Yeah.
But I don't know. A conversation I think needs to start that having some sort of a traveling trophy back and forth, one for each sport.
Timothy Hay Cup or Timothy Cup.
Yeah.
Battle for El Kites or something.
Yeah.
El Kites seems to be like a border, it seems like, between Upper and Lower County.
Right.
So
Or maybe there's one trophy that at the end of the year you match up how many times that Kittitas has beaten Cle Elum or Cle Elum's beaten Kittitas, and there's one trophy that sits in a school for a year. And at the end of the baseball season, softball season's over with. That goes back and forth.
be a healthy rivalry.
Something fun.
Yeah.
That's right. And I don't think we need to go to the extent of WSU Idaho, where the loser has to walk from Idaho to WSU, home back to Idaho, because
I've
I
heard
ain't
about
walking
that,
to Cle Elum. I-90 is kind of scary. So.
Yeah.
But I don't know, just something that we want to throw out there and get talking about, because I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be awesome. I know baseball-wise, I don't think Highland's hit or miss with the baseball team. Granger sounds like they don't have a baseball team.
Right.
But we're gonna cross over with the other league, which is going to be really tough. I mean, you got prep.
but they won't count for your league games when you play prep. I don't think. No.
Is that I haven't heard officially yet.
Well, Cle Elum's AD kind of showed me what they're going to be a split divisions, kind of like what they're doing right now in their the South Central Athletic Conference. But so the West Division is going to be, Kittitas and Cle Elum will be in there, and I think Highland, and then on the other side it's going to be like Tri-Cities Prep and those other schools. So I don't know if that will count. You're going to see them in districts if you make it, but
that'd be an interesting cross up.
But I don't think you're going to have to play. I don't know.
We're going to play them in the fact of like a crossover. We have to play 2 of their teams.
Okay.
And that's I wasn't 100% sure how that would all work, I guess. But
it's kind of make me think. But now we're talking about Cle Elum, but like Ellensburg now and the CWAC is going to be really different, because now they have 7 teams, which makes it kind of awkward.
Right.
So they're gonna have to schedule a bunch of non-league games,
which is good though.
Yeah. There was talks of, I guess, a couple teams dropping down to the CWAC, but didn't work out. But Cole was kind of telling me that it's not official. It depends on how many. They still haven't came out with how many allocations each district gets. But they might not do the glue crossovers that they usually do.
Right.
If they each get 2, or maybe one year they will, if like one of the GNL only gets 1. So the Great Northern League is someone who they cross over with in districts, and they've always had 5 teams, but now they're at 6. And now with Ellensburg, or it's to the CWAC at 7. yeah, it's going to change things up. But he said potentially they might decide, if each team or each conference gets 2, state burst allocations, that they maybe combine them all in districts.
Right.
And so that they all play for 4 spots. So there could be a case where all 4 state bursts go to CWAC teams, or all 4 go to the GNL, or they split, or
right.
So I guess they're weeks away from figuring that all out, but not weeks, but
Right.
Whenever it happens.
Well, I know the EWAC, we're going to have enough teams between the 2 divisions. We could have our own district tournament and still get the 4 or 5 spots to state that we get.
Yeah.
I think I heard this from a guy that's from over on the west side. But the Central 2B League is like the Napavine, Toledo, Onalaska's, who won the football title, PL Wilpa Valleys. Adna's the dominant in all their sports. That league has been kind of known as a very competitive 2B league.
That's the elite 2B.
But I think this new EWAC can rivalry that league easily. I know the bi-county one's always tough because the Colfax and the Sowens and all them, but I think we stepped up our as a whole. It's a damn competitive league.
I think the EWAC is going to be looking pretty darn good.
Mm-hmm. They're still going to call it that, right? I mean, I
believe so.
I said
I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
As
far as I know. Yes.
Why would you want to call it anything different? Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's still
the Timothy Cup Conference.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. We need to come up with better names than just Central Washington.
Right.
Yeah, something unique.
Write a letter, start a hashtag or something.
Yes, but also so the UAC lost 3 schools as well, right?
Right.
So DeSales going to 1B.
Going 1B, which they had already played the 8-man football schedule this year. Okay. I believe Liberty Christian is down, aren't they?
Yeah, they weren't.
They're down.
And then is it Lyle?
Lyle's going to Oregon, which thank goodness. And don't get me wrong. Okay, I enjoy Lyle. They're a competitive school. Great to play them. It's a beautiful place to play. But we leave at like 8 a.m. for a 3 o'clock weekday doubleheader and got home at midnight, 1 o'clock.
That's horrible.
It is.
So you got to miss school
all day long, basically.
Yeah.
Brutal. And and then they dropped baseball off in Lyle, and softball drove to Kittitas to play the game at their field because of fields and small schools and whatnot. But and it's I think they're going to appreciate it more because they have a shorter travel going to the Oregon schools that are nearby there, I believe.
Definitely.
Pendleton and those kind of
It'll be interesting, but I'm excited. I think it's going to be awesome. We used to be up in the North League, but I think this is easier travel with I-90 and I-82, and
definitely
it's going to be a lot better. So
70 miles an hour the entire way.
Heck yes. So it'll be good. I'm excited to see how things go. And if you have any suggestions for maybe that's our next topic. Cleon Kittitas Kids Unite on Unite.
Let's throw that on Facebook. We'll throw that on Facebook.
What will the new rivalry be called between Kittitas and Ellensburg?
Yeah.
And we got the right guy who has the power of the ink sitting to our right to make it
I know.
happen.
I was just thinking, once a name comes, I'll write a story on it and kind of what it means to the community. And
then here in 20 years, 30 years, when they go, how did the Kittitas Cleon get that rivalry name? Luke Olson.
Yeah, Luke Olson did it.
Yeah.
So, well, let's move on to our guest.
That's right.
We're going to have a quick message from Fitterers Furniture, quality furniture since 1896. Go down and check them out. Who's our guest? I want you to introduce her.
Our guest, which we will officially introduce her here in just a moment, but the head coach of the Kittitas cheerleaders, Rebecca Posz-Tamez. She's going to be here talking about the national qualifying team heading down to Dallas. So looking forward to talking with her.
Absolutely. We will be right back, like I said, with our message from Fitterers Furniture with our guest of the week.
Is a new sofa calling your name this new year? Maybe a recliner? Whatever furniture needs replacing, when it comes to furniture upgrades, you can trust the professionals at Fitterers Furniture in Ellensburg. A knowledgeable sales staff, certified interior designers, and 3 floors of quality home furnishings are just some of what you'll get at Fitterers. Fitterers also offers in-house financing, free delivery, and haul away in Central Washington. Fitterers Furniture, quality furniture since 1896. Fitterers.
Well, welcome back, Kittitas Valley Sports Talk fans. It is the guest of the week time. Brought to you by
Fitterers Furniture, quality furniture since 1896.
They're on the corner of 4th and Main, baby. That's right. Stop by and say hi to Fitterers. Tell them that the Kittitas Valley Sports Talk guys told you to come on in. Like I said, we're in the market for couches myself.
Right.
And so, like it or not, Brad Federer is going to see us here in just a couple of minutes. So
I bet he's excited about that, John.
I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. But it's a guest of the week time. And here with us, so I am a cheer dad. I'm a proud cheer dad, right? And here with us is the coach of Kittitas Coyotes, the cheer team here, Rebecca Posz-Tamez. She is here. I say we, coach, because I'm going to be on the trip with you. We're going to Dallas this weekend.
We are.
Yeah, and it's an exciting time, and that's why we wanted to bring you in here. So as a dad, I see my daughter who's cheering quite a bit. She comes home exhausted from practice, which, by the way, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And
My pleasure.
But it's just been a heck of a commitment, and I'm thrilled as a dad, and I'm thrilled as a community member. But what about you? We're recording this on a Wednesday afternoon, so in less than 48 hours, we're going to be on a plane to Dallas.
We are. I'm so excited and honestly a little terrified. I've never traveled with the team before. I have a great group of girls. I'm not concerned whatsoever as far as behavior or anything like that happening. I know they're going to do fantastic. They manage themselves well, always. And it's really exciting. It's a first for Kittitas. I think it's a first for the Kittitas Valley. I don't think anyone else has gone to nationals in the Valley, so this is pretty exciting.
So let's talk about that. So again, I'm familiar with the team just because of I'm just going to name drop right now because of Delaney, and but this has been a work in progress for many months. Starting with, well, I don't even want to say starting with the summer camp. It was before that as well, but. Summer camp is when we got some attention, and so kind of tell me about that.
Okay, so we start tryouts at the tail end of May and officially do our tryouts and create the team in June. We practice all of June. We typically take about 3 weeks off in July. Then we come back together for a few days just to kind of get in sync again before we take off to camp. So this past summer, we went to an NCA camp at the Great Wolf Lodge. It's a 4-day camp.
Nice.
It is a really cool camp.
You been there?
Great Wolf Lodge, not the camp.
Yeah.
Okay, I missed on the cheerleading part, but I have gone
join
down the
us at
slide.
camp.
That's right.
So you go do that. They teach different things, multiple things per day. There's cheers and chants and stunting and dances and advanced dances, and they just teach all day long. Like you start your day at 7 o'clock in the morning, grab breakfast, you go work out, you start learning, then you take a lunch break, then you go back to learning, then you take a dinner break, then you go back to learning. And then somewhere in the middle of that, they do evaluations. You don't have to participate in them, but they do encourage it. I always do because I want the girls to get used to performing in front of crowds, because when we get back, a lot of these girls have only been doing cheer for a couple months. And so they have to get those nerves out of the way and be ready to perform in front of the whole entire stadium.
Right.
And so no pressure. So we do the evaluations each day. And then on the final day, on day 4, there's the big one where you get to compete or get evaluated on all the categories of what they taught, which is typically 3 main categories. And so this year we did everything. We did all of it. And they scored superior in every category that they competed in or got evaluated in, which is what earned them the bid to go to nationals. There's different levels of bids. I can't remember all the names, but there's one where it's like a partial bid and they think you have potential. We want to see you again. Send us a video as a video tryout, and then we'll decide at that point if you qualify for nationals or not. Then there's the full bid, which is what we received. Skip everything. You get to skip all the local regional competitions. You get to go straight to nationals. Then there's a paid bid where they actually pay for your nationals competition. We didn't get that.
But that's a goal, maybe.
It is, yeah.
So, I mean, going into these evaluations, I mean, you're going in to get some constructive criticism and then also just get used to, being judged or being in front of crowds. But, I mean, obviously you want to do well, but was nationals on the radar at all before?
So I know it's a possibility. I've never told the girls that because I don't want it to be a disappointment if you don't get it. Schools have been going to camps every summer and none of the schools locally have received a bid. And so it's not even something I put out there. Our goal when we go to camp is to learn something, to grow together, and just to come back better than we went. That's my only goal when we go to camp. And there's a lot of bonding that happens at these camps. Kids are intimidated. We're used to our little school, our little area. The schools that we play are smaller teams. And you go to this camp where there's typically about 25 other schools, over 400 kids. And some of these have been cheering since they could walk. And so the level of their knowledge or their skills is just scary, intimidating. And then just their confidence. They walk by you and they look like what you see on the movies, bring it on or whatever. And so it can be intimidating. Typically, within the first few hours, there are some tears shed because everything's moving so quickly. And some of these girls that come to me have zero experience. When they fill out their applications, there's a section that says dance experience, and I'll get stuff like, oh, I participated in a quinceañera. Like, that's the dance experience, not I've been in cheer gyms. I've been doing All-Star since I was 4 years old. And so it's definitely intimidating, even as a coach. My very first year, I was like, holy cow, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know where to go. It's all just happening so quickly. Mm-hmm. So you feel like you're barely getting a grasp of one thing, and then it's time to move on to the next. And then they tell you, oh, by the way, after lunch, we're getting evaluated. And so you go to lunch and you can't even eat because you're so nervous about it. And then you just eat a little bit just to have the energy, and then you run back out and start practicing so that you can be ready for the next evaluation. We go in, again, just looking at improving. I don't ever tell them that nationals is on the table. I don't want that to be our goal. It's not just about impressing them. It's about learning. Mm. So when we got the bid to nationals, it's day 4. The girls are just exhausted. It's been all day, every day. You get an evening off to go to the water parks, but the girls, some of them chose to go to the water park. Some of them chose to keep practicing. Some of them just chose to veg out and watch TV, sleep, get on their phones, So we're at the very end where they're giving us all the prizes and you're getting ribbons and they're talking about all these, you did so great in this. We were the only team in the whole camp that got a safety award because these girls are always looking out for each other. When we're trying something new, they all surround the team and they all make sure that if the stunt falls, we're all there to catch. And they know if the girl hits the floor, there's punishment that comes with that. Right. Just an extra workout. So
I can confirm that.
Okay. Which is a good thing, I feel like.
So they're handing us awards, and the very last one, it's an NCAA cheerleader, and she says, and you got a bid to nationals. And all our girls are just sitting there like,
what?
Yay. They don't even know what that is. Yeah. Because we've never even discussed it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so we get it. And I'm kind of looking at it and I'm reading through it and I'm like, I'm not going to say anything. I need to make sure 100% what it is that we received. Yeah. Did we get a partial? Did we get, what exactly is it? And so we come home. The girls just wanted McDonald's and to get to bed. That's all they wanted. So we come home, send everybody home, and I start emailing the the camp director and the national director that was there that she and I had lunch, and it was pretty cool. So nice. I email them, okay, this is what we received. Is this truly a full bid to nationals? And they both replied, yes, congratulations to Kittitas. And when I went to the first practice after that the following week, I told the girls and they were just shocked. Could not believe it. Didn't quite grasp just how big this is. Getting to nationals is you've already gone through all the districts and the regionals and state and everything. And this is it. Yeah. The only step after this is worlds. That's it. So...
Which will start a fundraiser for World
right
too as well.
Start that campaign.
But I can actually remember.
Right.
I don't remember what necessarily was said or what day it was, but I remember you sending a text out to the parents saying what a big deal it was. And we were in my humble abode. We were really excited, but we were like, well, what the heck does this mean? Right. So, we're on board so I immediately knew, okay, fundraising and stuff like that. But what does it mean? So when you were saying, that's exciting, but at first we weren't sure what was going on. Mm-hmm. That was with the parents too. We were just excited that one, I don't want to downplay Kittitas, but little old Kittitas that play schools like Tiny Lyle and Reardon and all that stuff. I mean, we're going to be on a national stage. So I didn't know what it meant, but I know where Dallas is, and
that's awesome.
It is awesome. It is awesome.
So the camps and everything you talk about, is it like the movie that you watch on?
It is. Oh my goodness, it is. Yes.
Is it really? Okay.
Oh yeah, heads are bobbing. Everybody's got their hair on point. Mm-hmm. Everybody's in their matching little outfits. It is what you see in the movies.
All right.
Yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
It's quick. And then the stunting segment, they show you the stunt here's try this, and they show you step by step how to do it, and then it's your turn. Jump in, make it happen. And it's scary because these are stunts that we've never done before. Yeah. And so we're trying. And like I said, we're super safe. other schools that have been doing this for years, they just kind of go and they throw bodies in the air, and there was like people smacking the ground. Somebody was wheeled on a wheelchair, and we're all sitting there like, holy moly!
What is it?
Yeah, there's that. What's that old song? Let the bodies hit the
right.
floor. Or what is
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I could hear playing in the background.
That's going to be our intro music next week. All right? Yeah.
That is awesome.
You know what though, but you were saying we're safe, and there's some experienced people who are throwing kids all over the place, but like last week's routine with the lights down and everything like that, I don't know what Delaney has told me many times, and I can't remember the name. The one she went backwards and forwards. That was, to me, that was kind of intense. So one, it's dark. Two is they're wearing masks, which by the way was really cool.
Thank you.
And then there's a girl that truly is doing like 3 trust falls in like 10 seconds. I don't know. I've been impressed with the level of, again, I acknowledge my bias. I'm a dad, but just the level of risk or chances or just pushing ourselves. It's been really fun to watch. So, because again, I'm part of the team.
You are?
I'm part of the team, guys. We're flying in on Friday.
He's a diva dad, I bet.
That's right. That's right. You know what? Every time I post, I'll say hashtag diva dad. Dad is what I'm going to say. Coach, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe we have an early morning on Friday.
We do. We will be leaving at about 1 a.m. Friday, heading out to the airport.
Perfect.
1 a.m. I'll call you.
I can't wait to hear from you.
Yeah, the rest of you guys get to sleep. I have to drive the 10-passenger van.
Perfect.
So
Hopefully Snoqualmie
good luck. Lots of
behaves
prayers
and-
for us, please.
Yeah, dang right.
But fly out early, get to Dallas, I guess mid-afternoon Dallas
Yep,
time.
about
and then
3:45 p.m.
And then you have a
So
kind of a
from
coach
there-
meeting, some practice. And
Yeah, from there we run to the arena and we register the team, let them know that we're all present. I have a mandatory coaches meeting to go to. Then we run back in for a 7:10 p.m. practice to test out the mats and get to see what the full legal size area looks like and what side we enter, what side we exit. Just make sure we get all our placing. You got 10 minutes for that on the legal mat. That's all you get. And then we run out to dinner, go to bed, hopefully get some rest, and start our day the next morning. We compete. Saturday, it's 3 separate categories. There's a band chant, a cheer, and the fight song. And then there's an awards assembly for that. And after that, there's a dance party in the arena for the cheerleaders. It's pretty cool. You're going to have thousands of cheerleaders jumping, screaming, dancing, just...
And John in the middle dancing and screaming.
Yeah, sure. I'm the DJ.
That's right.
Diva Dad.
That's right.
And then Sunday morning, they let us sleep in a little bit. We get up and we head on out. We do the same thing, except here, now you have 4 categories. You still do the band, chant, cheer, fight song, but in the middle of that, they throw in a situational cheer. So the announcer will call out some random play. You don't know what you're going to get called. Your captain decides on the spot, offense, defense, and she calls a cheer, and the squad jumps in and has to do the right cheer with the right moves. And
Wow.
Yep, and then we transition right into our, like a crowd involvement cheer, and then into our fight song, and then it's over.
So is it one of those things, because we're in basketball season now, so it will be like a basketball situation, or could it be like
It's
football
typically
essentially?
football.
Okay.
It's typically football calls. Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
they can say something as random as interception. I mean, do you really know what they're going to say? Or?
No, we have no idea. They give you a list of about like 10 different, could be something like this, but they don't tell you exactly what it's going to be. So yeah, our captain is obviously on the spot and gets nervous, but she's done fantastic. We have practiced all kinds of different cheers. We've made some up. We've used the 8 that they've given us. And
So from my daughter's perspective, there's some nerves there. But from a coach's perspective, do you have the same nerves? I mean, this is the first time for you. No, look at that. Cool as a
course
cucumber.
not.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right. I have not been sleeping. I wake up in the middle of the night and grab my phone and put notes in there. I created a 2-page packing list to make sure that not a single item was missed.
We're behind a little bit on our pack.
That's awesome. That is perfect.
So just to give an example of some of the calls that they do, there's the home team is digging in to get the stop on our goal line.
Oh,
Doesn't say offense, doesn't say defense. You've just got to know what it is. Some of them do say what it is. There's another one. It's a close game and our offense is driving down the field for a score. And so there's a lot of what a catch. That sets our team up in the red zone ready to score. And they just have to know right there. Offense,
Really?
defense.
Wow.
this is a whole nother level.
So they're really
It is.
testing whether you even know the game. Because you can't just look cute in a skirt. You have to know what's going on.
So has that been part of your coaching, kind of teaching them football, all the sports? I mean,
To be honest, no. No. I don't know enough of the game.
I figured you could bring in Coach Hamero. He'd probably be good at that.
We kind of figure it out along the way together.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So, it's the toot my own horn time.
Yeah.
Do it.
Actually, toot our horn time,
Right.
as in. So I've been to, watching the teams play, obviously at home, but I travel to football and basketball games on the road too. One is because I like my Kittitas Coyotes, but two
Right.
is I'm partial to my cheerleading daughter. But
Right.
the one thing that I do see, and again, I'll acknowledge for the fifth or sixth time that I'm biased, but I would say the level of precision, maybe, and just in terms of like sharp moves rather than a lazy step out or whatever you want to say. I won't say any team names and everything like that, but there's just been a difference in terms of our cheers seem to be a little bit more. There's a more of an element in terms of the movements.
Yes.
They seem to be a little bit more trendy instead of 2
70s.
bits, 4 bits, 6 bits, $1 kind of thing that
Right.
you would think of, So anyway, I mean, that's just, I'm tipping my hat to you, Coach, just because it's been really fun to watch, one, Delaney, and then just the entire team. It's been really fun to watch them just kind of morph into the team that we have now. It's just been really, it's just fun.
Yeah.
So-
They work really hard. They put a lot of time in, a lot of effort into, like you said, precision, getting it clean and crisp, and that their arms are in the exact same place, not some are up here, some are down here. They practice a lot with their palms because when you have a palm in your hand, every move you make is just that much more noticeable. They work on smiles. They work on just everything being clean and concise and as poised as possible.
Well, you can definitely tell, just showing up in a football game. I showed up at halftime and in time to see the dance routine. I was like, "Whoa, that's awesome!" It was good.
And they're like 3 minutes long. I can't
Yeah.
even remember 30 seconds of.
absolutely
You ask me
That's
to say
impressive.
my full name and I'll trip up. These ladies are like doing 3-minute dances and
Right.
stuff. Right.
right. Well, before I guess you got more questions,
Plus
probably.
like 70 or 80 cheers on top of that they have memorized that
Yeah.
they can do on call.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They're amazing.
So, is there going to be a way to watch this?
There is. If you go to varsity.com/20Dallas,
Okay.
it's $12.95. It's a pay-per-view.
Okay.
Yeah, we're that cool.
That's
you gotta
you
pay
guys.
to see us.
You've made the big time when
What is
it's
the
not
price of
free.
admission?
Dang right. That is awesome. Cool.
So we'll have that. Maybe I'll be sharing that once or twice.
Right.
We'll just say.
That's
Maybe
awesome.
more than that. Another thing that we need to talk about that you didn't mention, Coach, is before, like right as school last June got out, then it was boot camp. Boot camp started at 5 a.m.
Yep. They have to.
And
They
I'm
start
telling you
getting there
what.
before 5. We start at 5 on the dot. You better be there before.
Nice.
Getting up at 4 a.m. or
Sorry.
4:30, being in the car at 4:40. That was a commitment.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
I apologize to the parents.
No, don't. I'm going to cut
It's
you
good.
off right there.
It's good
because
for the kids. They got.
It is good for them,
That's
and
part of life.
it changes their mindset. They work harder.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes a sport.
Yeah.
We're not just a spirit team. They work really hard to show that it is a sport to them, that they're athletes. They're lifting 110, 120 pound girls. It takes a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing cardio for, on most days, about 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes is an average practice. Boot camp days, we start at 5 and don't end until 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. So it's hard work and you have to train up for it.
we're all former high school to college athletes. So, but there's a camaraderie of like a boot camp type of mentality, I think. So I actually thought it was really cool.
Yeah, it sucks, and we're going to get through this together.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Team unity.
that's right. So we're in Dallas.
Yes.
We're there for the competition. Coach, I'm also looking forward to the food as well.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm excited too.
Yes.
I'm originally from Texas, so I'm looking forward to some of those Texas foods again.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right from the get-go.
Yep.
Dang
In the
right.
airport, Whataburger.
That's right.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, we
Coach.
appreciate.
Yeah. Oh, I was
Yeah.
just going to say, thanks for coming
Yeah.
in. We're
Of course.
excited. I will help you drive if you need me to.
Thank you.
I'm just, I'm excited for my daughter, but I'm really excited for Kittitas. It's just
It's a big thing happening in
It's an
Kittitas.
amazing
That's for sure.
opportunity.
That's so cool.
If I can just say really quick, I want to thank the community for coming together and helping to support this. There's no way we could have done it without the community. They're the ones that paid for 95% of this. We raised almost $10,000 to make this happen. And it's
cool.
all because of the community, local businesses, families, parents, everybody that pitched in. Every dollar counts. And we were able to provide this for these children 100% paid. That's amazing.
That's so cool.
I was pretty blown away by that. Yeah.
That is neat.
Yeah.
Small town America does it again.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's on display definitely here.
That's right.
So,
Well, thank you again. Good luck. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Go represent. Go kick some butt. And,
Yes.
and,
that's right. We'll have pictures and video.
That's right. We'll be right back with our ending with our fun segment of Would You Rather. I think we got a better name for that in the future, but we'll
That's
be
right.
right back after this message. All right, fellas. First, what a cool interview. What a cool experience for those high school girls.
And you know what? Something that I forgot to say, and I've got it written right here. I had the notes. I was looking right at it, but I got too enamored in the conversation to bring it up. Is we're recording this on a Wednesday. Thursday at 2:25. Public is invited to send off the cheer team. So, school gets out at 2:35 for those who are not in the know. And the last 10 minutes will be a way to celebrate the cheerleaders. And so 2:25 at the high school tomorrow, which is Thursday, the cheerleaders will be sent off in grand fashion.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And I don't know if we discussed or not, but I don't think there's been a cheerleading team that's done this yet out of this valley between all the schools. So kind of neat. Maybe there's the cool part is maybe there's some young girls out there that are looking up to this, and now they got something else to look forward to and give people more opportunities.
That's right. My kids, I don't know if your sweet little one, Ellie, has done it, but, my kids did the junior cheerleader thing back in the day, and obviously they're not juniors anymore, but so it is kind of cool. I mean, the cheerleaders, like any sports athlete in a small school, the cheerleaders have a lot of people looking up to them. So my hat's off to them.
We'll we'll wrap this thing up. This has been a pretty fun interview so far. Just episode 21. Great conversation in my opinion, but I'm biased because we're doing the conversation. But
We're awesome.
Yeah.
Is basically what you just said.
Lots going on. We had that. There's no longer a lull like we did in the fall between fall and winter sports, and there's lots happening. And would you rather? And speaking of lots happening, we posted on Facebook. Would you rather question of going on a road trip with 3 sports athletes, and I was so excited. We got 20-some people responding back. I think we're going to make this a regular thing. We're going to ask one question a week, looking for conversation. Let's grow this thing. There's no reason we can have great conversation and talking about sports in general, because I know people listening are sports fans.
Well, let's figure out who had the best one. That's what we
Okay,
should-
let's go through it.
Actually, you might be looking at it right now.
Yeah, let me pull
Mark
it up.
Crowley, Dan Gable, who was an incredible wrestler. Larry Bird, who speaks for himself. And then Lane Frost, who, world champion, bull rider as well, who passed away in his prime, in my opinion. That'd be a good one. I can't even remember what I said. Oh, I kept mine central oriented.
Okay, yeah.
But Cole Canyer, right there. Cole, you had a great one.
Cole's, yeah.
That would be a fun
Bob Ook,
quartet.
Bucher, Mike Leach, and Brett Favre.
Yeah.
The stories would be pretty awesome there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do Mike Leach right now, but give me a week and I'll get over the breakup. And
Yeah.
no, there's been some awesome ones. Andy Bain, Central Baseball alumni. Ted Williams, Bo Jackson, and Clayton Kershaw. That'd be a lot of fun. Janelle Canier, Edgar, Felix, Randy Johnson. Our past guest, Eric Terrell.
Edgar would be tough. Though.
Yeah, he'd be tough. Eric Terrell had Michael Jordan, Alex Morgan, and Russell Wilson. And,
Those are great.
And,
Those are great ones.
yeah, there were some good. Madden, Pete Rose, Dennis Rodman, Charles Stevens. Actually, Dennis Rodman, that'd be awesome. His son plays basketball for the Cougs, and his daughter's about to play soccer for the Cougs. So
That's right.
Gotta write that up.
Mary Hudson goes
Oh,
with
yeah.
the Justin, Brock, and Caleb. Those in the know, I don't even have to say their last names.
Lowell Wentworth went with Michael Jordan, Montana, and King Griffey Jr. That would be, that's one of my favorites. That'd be a cool one.
The kid?
Griffey,
Or
Joe
all three of
Montana,
them?
and Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Talk about three. Which would be interesting because there's two people that have won championships and one guy that just played for a really successful long time.
And he did it cleanly. He was in the Royd era, and he didn't do
Absolutely.
it. How about Mickey Wood goes with Al Davis, just win, baby. But, man, that guy just either loved him or hated him.
Right.
So I'd like to pick his brain as to why was he such a – well, I mean, was he – I mean, the public persona of him was he was such a combative person. Hank Aaron, obviously Hammer and Hank. David Stern as well.
I'd give him a piece of my mind, though.
You'd give David Stern a piece of your mind?
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
He took
Correct.
the Sonics from us. Well, he was part of that.
He helped make that happen. Although I'm not the biggest fan of what was his name, Mr. Starbucks. I can't even think of his name. Who sold
Howard Schultz.
There you go. Thank you. There.
Throw him right underneath that bus.
You got to get three guys that would really have three guys that don't like each other.
Okay.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
Three guys that don't like each other in a car ride.
Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook.
Oh, they clearly don't like each other.
And you got to add somebody else who doesn't get along with them.
I would say any
Oh.
opposing fan. If you go on
Mate.
YouTube and watch like Russell Westbrook get into it with fans.
Or get Lillard as well.
Yeah.
Dame.
Dame and
Yeah.
Dame Dalla.
Yeah.
What
That'd be a good
about was it Mike Piazza and Kurt
No, Clemens. Clemens
Roger
was the one
Clemens?
that threw the bat in his general direction.
Right. I was getting off the field BS.
Yeah, who
else
what
would be?
baseball teams?
It'd be kind of a fun one to see how it would turn out, and maybe
What?
they're friends. Is Ventura and Nolan Ryan?
Yeah. That was 1993.
Yeah.
When,
Favorite picture. Was
I wasn't
blood.
born yet.
thanks. Gosh, Luke is killing us with the age. Whatever. I'm like a fine wine, Luke. All right. So
So if you guys, I mean, you guys answered the question. I can't 100% remember who you said, but if you could change it now, who would you change it to?
I don't know if I would change anything, but my new one would be those are involved with scandal or those who are habitually known as like a subpar coach. And so this total personal opinion, I would like to talk to Jeff Fisher, who had a couple of playoff runs when he coached for the St. Louis Rams and Tennessee Titans and stuff like that. But he's commonly known as kind of like an 8-8 football coach, a 7-9, 9-7. So nothing that was like, and so whether that's deserved or not, I mean, what is it that kept your teams, or what is it that makes people think you were a mediocre coach? Right now, I would really enjoy talking to the Houston Astros recently fired manager.
Hey,
I mean,
that'd be-
like the question would be, why? Because, I mean, I think cheating to a certain level, with the human element in baseball, cheating is accepted in baseball. You just do it, right? But when it takes the human element out of it, that's where I have an issue. And I would just like to ask him, why?
Right.
You know? And then, of course, controversial. As a fan, he's really, really, really cool to watch. But, Pete, why didn't you run Marshawn?
I was just thinking that. I was
Yeah.
thinking I want Pete, Marshawn, and Russell Wilson in the same car.
Like, what
When you're
is
driving, we're-
what was going on that
Yeah,
that
and I have
moment?
to be honest. Yeah,
Yeah. What about you? What would you change or
that's
add?
what I was
That's
just
what you
thinking.
changed?
Those three. I was just thinking that.
And this is a fun one because we could do it even a different topic of different sports and whatnot, and it could change. And mine changes all the time, I guess, in my mind. But right now, and I tried to think of his name last week because I am in a coaching manner, and I feel like this era of baseball was phenomenal.
Right.
And it wasn't a bunch of social media. It wasn't a bunch of money. It was dudes playing the love of the game and having some stories. And the three, they're actually all coaches, MLB guys: Billy Martin,
Yep.
Lou Piniella, and Tommy Lasorda.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be really,
For me,
really cool.
I'd make sure there was car problems every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But had to call someone to come fix it.
Yeah.
Make it last as long as possible.
Wasn't Billy Martin fired from the Yankees like 4 different times?
Yep, that's him. And I guess I couldn't remember him last week. And I had a year at Big Bend where I got to travel with Dave Howerlow to some of the away games because he would drive.
Yeah.
He was our pitching coach. And the stories that man told, I wanted to put him on there, but I've already talked and had it. And I love any minute I get to spend with Tuna. He's a great person and a good friend. And the stories he tells about that era of baseball is, oh my God. I mean, how much fun those guys had.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And about the time they lit Billy Martin's shoelaces on fire in the middle of the game.
That's hilarious.
Stuff like that going on.
Yeah.
Times when you traveled and you didn't have your cell phone and you got to actually talk to your teammates.
Yeah.
Weird. So I got some new questions for you. And
Before we go into that, one of the things I liked about this was there was a lot of traction, a lot of interaction on Facebook.
Yeah.
Keep doing that.
Please.
Because, we love the conversation. I mean, we've gone on, basically 10 minutes talking about what other people talked about.
Yeah.
So I just really appreciate the community being a part of it.
Absolutely.
So, sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to make that point.
Because we're not doing that just for us three to get together once a week. We can do that whenever we want.
Exactly.
We want to bring the community members together and talk sports. And there's a lot of people here that have a lot of opinions about a lot of sports stuff. And, it's fun. It's something to do, man.
That's right.
Would you rather be a legendary coach or a legendary player?
Player, for sure. Yeah. Only the old guys would say coach.
Shit.
All the old
Are you
guys
saying
would
us?
say coach. I was just going to say coach. I'm changing my mind right now. I think coach has more longevity. I think
Yeah?
you can be a coach longer than a player. I don't know.
Luke.
Man, you got me so
Damn
spooked
you,
now.
Luke.
I can't. You know what? I'm going to say player because I think I'm going to. Whatever, Luke.
I'm not.
Would you rather be like a Bill Belichick or a Tom Brady? That's like a good. What would you want to be?
When you say it like that, I would. Oh,
Tom Brady.
Because they're both equally as.
I'm going to say player
fame
because
wise and
me living my life now says coach because I'm a coach. But my whole life has been player until they got told I couldn't play anymore. And yeah, player would be pretty damn cool because you're going to be the guy remembered on sports highlights.
yeah.
and I mean, I guarantee you, Tom Brady's making more money than Bill Belichick.
His endorsement.
Michael Jordan always made more money. LeBron James makes more money than. I don't even know who the Lakers coach is.
The only reason I'd say coach right now is because, like you said, longevity of player. You can only play for so long, but coach is if you're good at it, you're going to coach for as long as you want to.
Right.
Your career.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good.
I'd say player coach, but that wasn't an option.
Yeah.
Would you?
Another one. That's a good one.
That was a fun. I just Googled it online, and they're good. I should have highlighted these guys because I had a good one. Would you? Rivalry week? Would you rather stay on a below average team or join your rival and win a title?
Ooh.
Richard Sherman's case.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh shoot! Twice this week.
Yeah.
Except it wasn't a below average team, but
To me, sport and you guys are both college athletes, but we all played sports in high school. I mean, yes, you remember the big ones that you win, and you remember the championships, but don't you remember more of like just the team itself? Mm-hmm. So I would definitely I'd rather be on a middle of the road team that was really instrumental in my life.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm thinking of the rivalries in my life.
You wouldn't join Western to get a
No,
national championship in
no
baseball?
way in heck. I would.
And you hit
DeSales High School. I would not wear the green and gold.
Right.
I just grew up my whole life not. I just couldn't. I feel like, yeah, no, I wouldn't do it. We'll just leave it at that.
Right.
Oh, jeez. Well, there you go. Would you rather sweat an embarrassing amount or need to hydrate every 5 minutes?
Hydrate every 5 minutes.
Hydrate every 5 minutes
I'd
because you
sweat
can
it
hide
out.
that.
So what?
Screw it. I already sweat enough as it is. Ooh, this is an interesting all right, would you rather coach a college or professional team?
College, all day, every day. No hesitation. What about you?
Jeez. Yeah, probably college.
Yeah.
I guess you don't have to deal with, well,
You got to be a recruiter.
yeah.
I don't think of it like that. I just think about the.
Atmospheres. And stuff.
I just like college better, so I don't think about it like that. Either way, it's going to be incredibly difficult to manage that. But I just say college without hesitation.
It must be easier because Nick Saban won't leave.
No, you won't.
What's that?
I said it must be easier because Nick Saban won't go to the pros.
That's true.
Must be.
No, I think it's because I think he said something with the players.
He's a good teacher.
Like,
Or
there's no. I can't remember. My roommate told me since the Alabama fan that there's a reason that he's never gone to the pros. But we're off topic, but
Wait, wasn't he
okay.
with the Dolphins for a while though?
and
he
then
never. But he doesn't want to go back.
Yeah,
He's, for some reason.
it comes down to me. Do you want to pick your team or do you want someone to pick it for you?
Yeah.
In that aspect, college, and I love college atmosphere.
Is that why there's more passion? You pick your team.
Suppose? Well, yeah, because you've made promises to parents. I'm going to take care of your kid, and we're going to go win this. And it's a. I mean, college is a business, but so is NFL is a business,
Right.
Yeah.
not just a.
Did you guys watch Aaron Hernandez documentary?
Not yet.
I binged on it. It was
Is it interesting? when-
3-hour episodes, and I watched all 3.
Yeah, it's,
Was it good? I
Yeah,
haven't
oh
watched
yeah.
it.
It's interesting when he went to Florida because he was supposed to go to UConn.
Mm.
But yeah,
Dang.
okay.
I watched the Unabomber series, but I haven't got back to the other one yet. So watched that one. It's pretty mind blowing.
This has taken a dark turn.
Have you guys watched Messiah?
No.
Oh,
Which one?
Messiah.
No.
Oh, okay, never mind. It's a pretty good Netflix show.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
good.
It's on my queue.
Let's just discuss our favorite.
Favorite
TV
Netflix. I'm
shows.
sad that I watched the last episode of The Ranch ever, so I'm still
The
dealing
Ranch
with
is
that.
done.
Done.
Wow.
Last episode.
Yep.
Ashton
Should-
Kutcher. That's over.
Yep. I wish they would have brought Rooster back.
Wait, don't.
Oh.
You just ruined it. I haven't watched.
Maybe they do. Maybe they don't.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
He's
I'm
dead.
not watching that.
Last question before we wrap this up. Would you rather have a long average do we ask that one yet? No. A long average playing career or have a short fantastic career cut short by injury?
I don't know. I mean, that was a long pause of nobody talking because I don't know.
I asked the hard questions, fellas.
Yeah, you did.
What is the question again?
Would
Long average career or a short fantastic career cut short by injuries?
Would that mean like if Mike Trout was done right now? I'll take that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good 5-6 years instead of 13 or something.
Could Drew Bledsoe fall underneath this?
Just imagine if Felix would have retired 6 years ago.
He'd be remembered completely differently.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a Drew Bledsoe 30 for 30, by the way.
I watched it. Phenomenal.
Yeah. Did they mention he's an
Or the
Ellsworth kid?
E60. No, I didn't mention that, but I think we need to get his dad on here.
Is he still in Ellsworth?
Mac Bledsoe. I don't know where he's at, but he was a coach at Kittitas.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Hall of Fame, but he's a really big high school football coach in the state of Washington. So,
I'm going to say short fantastic.
what were you? Short. Okay. He was drinking water for the YouTubers.
What about you?
Short and fantastic. Those guys, if you go fantastic, 2-3 year career, win a couple World Series or Super Bowls, people remember you. But a long average career, they're gonna know who you are. But
Like, who's a good one? Who's a good example of that?
Of a long average career?
Yeah.
So the
Jamie
first.
Moyer.
Yeah, like he won't make the. I don't think he'll get into the Hall of Fame.
No.
can you make the Hall
Or
of Fame after
Cooperstown.
3 years?
What's that?
Like if you say your 3 or 4 year career and you get hurt, are you making the Hall of Fame then?
Yeah. This is a great
I don't think that's
discussion.
what I'm thinking of, though.
No.
I've been thinking about this question for a long time. Is Tim Lincecum Hall of Fame worthy?
No.
2 Cy Youngs, 3 World Series, 2 no hitters.
He would fit this description, though.
But he
He didn't play long enough.
I don't know.
Damn.
I mean, I was thinking, like, I don't think they were average, but Jamie Moyer will not make it to Cooperstown. But what he did with average stuff, wasn't his fastball like 85 miles an hour, which is nothing in the pros.
Yeah.
So he just threw just
He outsmarted
weird pitch.
everybody.
Yeah. And then a guy like, again, I don't think he's average. Clearly, he's one of the best baseball players in the world, just in terms of percentages of how many people make major leagues. But Raul Ibanez, like didn't he play for
He's a long average career. Yeah.
like 10 years, 12 years?
We can think of so many Mariners that had long average careers.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, I can't believe we're saying that.
I mean,
But then, like,
yeah.
I mean, maybe Felix had a long average career. He didn't make the postseason ever.
Cy Young
He had
once.
one Cy Young.
Lost a lot of one-run games.
I don't think he's.
I think if he was on a different team, it'd be a different.
he's,
Yeah.
he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
No.
I think he's fighting.
I
for
think
man.
of the three people we've just talked about, though, he's clearly got the best shot.
Maybe.
I mean, Tim Lincecum has the resume. I mean, it's just he didn't. I don't think he played.
He would
long
have the
enough.
resume if he was there for like 10 plus years.
Yeah.
Even that in 10 years is amazing. So,
is he done?
You're right.
Officially, I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think
These
so.
are good questions.
Yeah. Thanks. I'd like to take credit for it, but I just typed it into Google. And
The
it came
Google.
up.
Yeah.
The Google.
he's,
Well,
yeah.
Maybe that's the question for Facebook. Long average.
Kept
So keep your eyes and ears
we'll
out.
post it out there.
We're going to post 2 questions this week. What should the cross-county rivalry be named between
right.
Kittitas and Cleon? And that, would you rather long career or shorten
Yep.
famous?
right.
So,
Okay.
well, guys, this has been a fun one. I'd
We're
say
gonna-
top 3.
Let's end it with get to the
Right.
Central Western game. Get there at 5 o'clock so you can watch the women, CW women beat Billings. And then get to the Central Western game.
Get your free
Wear crimson.
T-shirt.
Wear crimson and black.
Absolutely. Make them regret coming to town.
That's right.
Well, fellas, till next week, I can't wait for it. I'm already counting down the days. Our
That's right.
guest next week, is it confirmed yet?
Could be. Could
Maybe.
potentially be. Yeah.
Maybe?
Jeff
You know,
Whitney.
Maybe. We'll see
Yeah.
if he has time for us. Maybe
Basically,
we'll talk to Cole about.
He just confirmed it.
He confirmed it. He'll be.
confirmed it.
Maybe
Yeah.
we'll try to go on campus somewhere. We'll talk to some people that are in charge of that and see if we're capable of that yet. So, anyways, we will be back next week for episode 22. Oh, Robinson Cano. Nah, I'm not using him. We'll have a good one for next week. And like we always say, be kind to each other. Share. Look us up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And we look forward to communicating with you guys this week. And we're going to leave you, maybe, with a little bit of Austin Jenks song right away because we're out. Take care, folks.
We'll see ya.
World's so big, this town's so small. If you circle the square, you've seen it all. There's no quick fix for a broken heart when everybody knows who you are. But I can help you start, just give me a call. If you wanna